Drop the vision board or keep it. The point is, you need more than pictures or ideas to create the vision of the life you want to live. And today, we're going to learn how to use a little vision and some neuroscience to create your best life in the next 12 months.
Your someday starts today. It's time to explore and test the newest science, methods, and trends for creating a life you love with your host, Tanya MFK. Welcome to My Designed Life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to My Designed Life, where we learn and test the latest science, tips, tools, and strategies for you to create your best life every day. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at My Designed Life Show and at Tanya MFK, also on the My Designed Life Show podcast on your favorite streaming service. I'm your host, Tanya Marie Figueres-Kreisinger, more easily known as Tanya MFK, and you are here to learn not only how to create your best life, but how to live it now. And I am so glad that you are here. While vision boards have been helpful for so many, I honestly can't remember the last time I've even owned a magazine to cut pictures from. And don't get me wrong, I'm an artsy-fartsy, crafty person, but vision boards lack, well, the full vision. And it's only the first step in a series of really important steps that need to happen if you're trying to create your best life. So overall, most goal setting is flawed in general, because just like vision boards, we stop at the thing we want. I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to make $100,000. That's a great end result. But we're missing the rest of the picture. And it's this full vision, this full map, this personal strategy and systems that we need to plot out if we're going to make change and live a life different than what we're living now. Now, if we only look at what we want, we will become the 92% of people that don't hit their goals. Goal setting is only the direction. We need to identify the mindset, the process, and the systems that make progress. Without this, you're going to be vulnerable to every little roadblock, every cake offered to you, and every excuse not to work out. When I was stuck with all my baby weight and plus some, like 3 years after my son was born, I knew I wanted to lose weight. The goal was easy. And the truth is, I had done it before. I had been overweight before, I had lost it, and I kept it off for 10 years. But it was an everyday battle. It was calorie counting and constant working out, which helped at the time during my 20s and 30s. But this time around, something just wasn't clicking. Fitting into my old jeans wasn't enough motivation to keep me on track. I needed a bigger vision. And it wasn't until I dug deep into what I really wanted my relationship to my body and my relationship to food to look like, why I wanted it, why I believed the things I did about health, and what limiting beliefs I needed to release. I had to think about what lifestyle was beyond the weight loss. What did I want to be doing on a consistent basis? What was the true purpose of all of this? And I had to figure out a much more detailed how, including preparing for roadblocks ahead of time. And it wasn't until all of that I started to see the weight come off. So there is a process. And I do recommend doing this process every year, because ideally you're growing into a new version of yourself every year. Things change, circumstances change, you change. So every year we need to come back and revisit our vision. We need to make tweaks and adjustments as necessary. And then we're set, at least for the next year. And to stay on track, I do highly recommend doing like a monthly reflection and planning, which is actually something we offer completely free as a workshop for anyone to join. There's no hidden sales pitch or lecture. It's just a space for you to do exactly that work that keeps you on track during the year as you're moving towards this vision. You can register for that at any time on the website. I'm sure we'll have a link below. So as we're moving forward, the first step in this process is to identify all the areas in life we need to examine. I have narrowed it down to a sleek 21 areas, yes, 21, that we need to look at deeply in our lives. So we have money and wealth, our business, career, or school, our peers or our network, our body and our health, friendships, what do we want those to look like? Intimate relationship or relationships, sex, parenting, household, home, or your personal space, your family and relatives, your social goals, your social vision, intellectual, your character, your mental, spiritual, your habits, your environment, fun, adventure, and experiences, giving back, philanthropy, your relationship to self, and the overall quality of your life. Now, don't worry if you didn't get all of that. As always, Queen of Worksheets has your back, and you can get that link below. We'll have it, and you can get to start to work on this by yourself. And of course, we also do workshops for this throughout the year. So if you do want some company or guidance while you figure this out, you can always join one of those and dive deep with some encouragement and clarity along the way. So you need to go through every one of these areas, even if they don't relate to you now. Because let's say you don't have an intimate relationship now, or maybe parenting isn't in your world right now. There is no better time than now to create the vision for that. Don't wait till you're in it to figure out what you want. This can also be a time for some of you where you make that decision that you don't want marriage, or you don't want kids, or how many kids, or how many marriages. So yes, every area is for you, every area. I digress. So we go through each area and we identify these 4 main things, right? 4 things that we look at for every single area over and over again. First, looking at that area, what are your current beliefs? What are your preconceived beliefs about this area in your life? What is your belief about how things work? How do you think relationships or friendships are supposed to look like? Is it sharing diaries or wine or book nights or long phone calls? What do you believe right now? And even more importantly, why do you believe that? Sometimes when we go through this, we realize that we adopted our parents' vision or TV's vision of what this is supposed to look like. Maybe we believe that healthy living is supposed to be hard and full of bad tasting food. But is that what you want to believe? What deeply held beliefs are currently shaping your life in this area? And are these beliefs empowering or holding you back? Then, after all that, what would you actually like your belief to be in this area? So this is where you make that really, really clear. Then we start to put together a vision. Now that you know that you want to believe healthy living can be delicious and easy, what is your vision for that? How do you want this area of your life to feel? What do you want it to look like? What do you want to be doing on a consistent basis? So describe your specific vision. Get into details, like really, really see it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So make it real to your brain. Make it something it can grasp onto. Because all it's grasping onto now are those limiting beliefs you had before, that you can't do it, it's too hard. So if you're gonna go and have a new goal and think your brain's just gonna jump on board, like, sure, cool, we're doing this now, you have another thing coming. You have to undo the neural pathways, the connections and the binding around those neurons that say, we've been thinking this so much that we put a lock around it. No, you gotta undo that. You gotta undo that and make new connections and put a new lock around those, around the ones you want, the ones you consciously choose. Then, after we look at that, this is the third thing, right? Then you look at what's the purpose? What is the point of all this anyway? What are the compelling reasons behind why you want to create this in your life? What empowers you to take action here? What motivates you to commit and achieve this vision? Why do you want to make the most out of this area in your life in the first place? After that, and only after you've gotten real honest, open, and gritty with yourself, are you ready to talk about number 4, strategy. How will I bring this vision into reality? What are the specific steps to bring this vision into life? Are you going to work out? What workouts? How often? 3 times a week? What days? How long will you work out for? How long will this lifestyle be for? Is it 6 months, 6 minutes, 6 years, your whole life? Are you going to do more than just working out? What will you do? What does eat better mean? What will you eat? When will you eat? What won't you eat? What is changing? You're going to get super duper detailed. Interrogate yourself. And now that you've got this clear vision for all these areas of your life, we have to face a little truth about life. Shit happens, right? It gets messy. It doesn't always go as planned. Real talk, it rarely goes as planned. Hello, 2020. But if we begin to expect that, not in a dreary, oh, woe is me, what's the point, it never works out kind of way, but in a, I know better than to think it will always work out perfectly. So I need to be prepared to bend, flex, and have grace for myself and my journey kind of way, then we will have the resilience and mindset that it takes to make it to the finish line, to stop self-sabotaging and to push through when the going gets tough. One great way to do that is to set up your environment to win and to create a roadblock plan. And yes, I got a worksheet for that too, because I believe that writing it down is the only way to make it real. But in that, what you'll do is you'll ask, what do I need in my environment to support this goal? What do I need removed from my environment to support this goal? That's a good one. What do I need removed? What could really keep me from this goal? Is it too much cake? What will I do to avoid that roadblock? Will I avoid the break room that's full of cake? Will I bring my own dessert to the party? And what happens if I eat the damn cake anyway? Will I admit defeat and give up? Or will I say, yeah, that happened, and I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna keep moving forward? Because that one piece of cake was never the problem. It was the consistency of cake. It was the inconsistency of believing in yourself. It was the shaming of yourself for not being perfect and allowing that to make you give up. So make a plan. What will you do if you wake up next to that empty cake plate? Know ahead of time. Make it real in your brain so it knows what to do if and when that happens. So it's not trying to figure it out on the spot, because otherwise it's going to revert to what you've always done. And what you've always done is what got you here in the first place. So that is the roadblock and environment plan. Got a little excited there. And overall, that is the life map. All those details, all those little pieces, this is really what you're figuring out. This is what you're diving into deeper than most ever dive into their life. They do these surface goals, these little things. I'm going to run a marathon, but what is that? Where does that really mean? Where does that fit into the big picture of who you want to become and that life you want to go to the grave with? That you look back and say, yeah, that was amazing, and I would do it all over again, all the same way. So this is where we're making that real goal achievement in action, okay? It's not perfection. It's not willpower. It's not setting the goal. That's all just scratching the surface. So if you want to create a life that, like I said, you'd be on that deathbed and you'd say, yeah, all over and over, sign me up, then let's get started. Let's do it. Let's start creating your well-lived days, because they are what add up to create that exceptional life. So on that note, welcome 2021 with open arms. Whatever it looks like now, whatever it starts to take shape as you're moving ahead, it doesn't really matter, because you have a vision and a plan. You have your own perception, and that is what creates your reality. So on that note, Happy New Year. Move forward in confidence and grace, knowing that you've got this. So, as always, I love connecting with all of you on Instagram. You can find me at Tanya MFK and learn more about our resources, courses, workshops, and more at tanyamfk.com. Make sure to click that subscribe button and tap that bell. Share this video and comment. I love getting in there. I love chatting. Can you tell? So I will be here every week as I discuss what I'm learning and what others are teaching about designing your best life. So if you like this video, make sure to check out some other ones. We have an awesome one about visualization, which dives a bit into the neuroscience of why it works and how you can make this tool part of your life and part of your regimen. It's really easy, and start making things happen. So remember, your someday starts today. Make it the best. I'm Tanya MFK, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. My Design Live is a Tanya MFK production. You can catch us every week at 1 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. London on the Tanya MFK YouTube channel. Do you have a method, tip, or hack you'd like to share or explore? Suggest a topic or submit to be a guest by visiting our website at tanyamfk.com.